Hey guys, PrinceofMacedon here, doing a Napoleon Total War multiplayer battle. This is an online battle between Russia and the Ottomans. I command the Russians, and my opponent is Robert E. Lee in command of the Ottomans. My army, we'll look at it. You already saw I have two teams of what do you call it, experimental howitzers. I have them on both wings. Then I have two units of Russian Jaeger. And here you can see an elite unit that is a Pavlovsk Grenadier. Then have 6 units of these regular musketeers. And I'll talk about the horses later, but you can see them for the moment. Alright, so on my far right I put 2 more elite units. What are they? Well, all these horses are in the way. Okay, here we go. I have a Moscow musketeer. There they are. And further down the line, I've got these bad boys. These are the lifeguard foot. They are the life of the party. Alright, so let's go look at my horsemen now. I have 4 squadrons of cav. One is an Ulan. Then I have a Hussar. That's my right wing. And also in the center of my army I have my general staff. I like their uniforms. It's very nice. I like the green color. Alright, on my left wing I have an elite unit. Well, let me talk about my other unit. I have a 1 cuirassier. They're pretty good. And then on the far left I have my elite horse unit. Those are my Pavlograd Hussars. Very nice looking uniforms. Let's go look at my opponent's army. He has 6 units of these skirmishers. They are called Nizam Sedet rifles. He has 5 on this wing and he has 1 on his other wing. They're hidden. Then right here he pretty much camped here. He has 3 units of these artillery pieces. These are the 18-pounder foot artillery. They have an extreme range. They were shooting at me once the battle opened, and he put stakes all around so I couldn't charge him. So I'll let you admire the artillery fire for a few seconds until I think of what to say next. Over here my opponent brought some exotic animals. He has 4 units of the Chaternal camel gunners. They are basically mounted gunners on camelback. Then he has 6 units of these Belgique Janissary muskets, and I assume that they're elite musketeers. Then here is Mehmet Ali. That's his general unit, that's a historical unit. And on his far right, that's where he put his last skirmishing unit, but they're hidden. Alright, and for the sake of YouTube, I'm going to do a time-elapse here and cut right into the battle. Alright, this is the far right of my army. And this is where our skirmishers were involved in a little brief firefight. But because he has more skirmishers than I do, I'm going to call in my cav on my right wing to help out my skirmishers. I'm going to charge into his riflemen here. And bam, we're going to smack these dudes over. And I'm pushing down the right here so I can get to his artillery, because I don't like those things firing at me. It's not very fun. And you can see I trained my guys not to shoot at my own men, so that's good. Anyways, what's going on here? I wasn't too afraid of charging his skirmishers because my opponent brought camels. Camels are really slow, so if he tries to reinforce his skirmishers, it's going to take them forever to get there. Alright, so my dudes are coming under fire. They got too close to his muskets. And here comes his camels. And listen to the run. It sounds like Fred Flintstone running. Okay, my opponent is withdrawing the skirmishers, but he couldn't save all of them, unfortunately. Alright, so that is my cue to withdraw my horsemen behind my infantry. And my opponent sees this as an opportunity for all of his camels to come out and play. And keep in mind that these are mounted gunners, so he is going to try and have a firefight with my right wing here. I don't think that was a good idea though. So I stopped my musketeers from advancing so I can get them firing at those camels. And even if he charges, like, look how slow they are. That's the problem with camels. I mean, they're good in a melee fight, but they suck at maneuvering. So my guys are going to calmly line up and just shoot them down. Damn, look at that. That is inhumane. Anyways, I have my Russian Jaegers in the mix, and I don't care if I shoot them, because I'd rather sacrifice a few Jaegers in order to get a lot of his camels, and that'll give me the cav advantage. And all the meanwhile, I am advancing the rest of my army. You can see on the mini-map that the rest of my army is coming up slowly. And you can see my experimental howitzers. They have a very nice looking blast when they shoot. Look at that, it looks like a... I don't know. It looks cool. Maybe like a Patriot missile? I don't know. So I got my guys into a square at the last second. And look at this dude run. It looks like Santa Claus on a camel. But there's no presents. Okay, what is going on here? Oh yeah, I wanted to use the Russians, and I'll tell you why. Because I wanted to bring back the tactics of Suvorov. And it's been a while since I've used them. The last time I used the Russians was back in Empire Total War. And Empire Total War was the time period in which Suvorov was making his name in Russia. Unfortunately, he didn't live to fight Napoleon. He actually perished in 1800, so that dream match never happened. And it was a very sad death. Like, he wasn't treated like the hero he was from the Tsar. But the people loved him, so that's good. Alright, so I scared away his skirmishers, and I'm going to advance my right wing. So it's kind of like an echelon attack. Like, I didn't mean for it to start that way, but that's how it's transpiring. So he still has a lot of skirmishers there, and I'm going to calmly advance.
Our men are running, sir.
Now my guys are routing. That's what happens when you're calm. Alright, this is my line infantry. They're very tough. And when my opponent saw that I was advancing like that, he decided to make a charge at my linesmen. And that would have worked, but then I stopped advancing. Because with all that musket fire, his camels might have broken my line infantry. But when I saw his camels coming, I stopped advancing, so I could deal death to his camels. So I even threw up my my horsemen on my right to take out his camels. And since my guys are already here, these are my Uhlans, I might as well go for his skirmishers. So let's go ahead and charge them. But I can't advance too far because he put stakes all around his artillery pieces. So I'm just going to advance as far into his lines as far as his skirmishers are positioned. So let's do that. Anyway, Suvorov, he was probably one of the greatest military commanders in modern times. By modern, I mean like the age of muskets and after. He was actually undefeated in battle. So he would have been a great foil for Napoleon. And Suvorov fought like tons of battles. I think he fought over 60 battles, I think, and he never lost a single one. And typically he was outnumbered. So that's what made his battles all the more impressive. Anyways, I'm gonna charge his artillery. Since he doesn't want my horsemen coming in to fight with his artillery, he might like my musketeers coming in to fight. So let's do that. Alright, so my horsemen got a little too far ahead of themselves. Now they're attacking those Janissaries. So Suvorov, he was known for quick and sudden dramatic attacks. And usually he would attack from out of nowhere, but since this was the grassy flatlands, I couldn't do that. But I can still do the Suvorov bayonet charge. Yeah, Suvorov, he trained his men hardcore, not only like quick marchers, but also to fight with a bayonet as opposed to the musket. If a Russian soldier was confronted with 3 enemy soldiers, he was expected to bayonet the first soldier, and then use the musket on the second soldier, and then use the bayonet on the third soldier. So he really trained his men to use the bayonet, and that was one of the trademarks of his attacks. Okay, so this is what I'm doing. I'm charging into his musketeers, his Janissary musketeers with my dudes. So yes, Russian soldiers who were under the command of Suvorov, they were ferocious, because these guys, they would come at you with their bayonets and they would stab you to death. And it's amazing how he was able to win all these great battles against numerous armies who outnumbered him. But his attacks were sudden and they came out of nowhere. And my attack didn't come out of nowhere, but it did come really fast. Alright, so I was kind of pissed. I lost my line infantry on my left flank. I guess I underestimated the strength of his Janissaries, but I'm going to persist in my attack. And did you notice I had some of my horsemen attacking his right, which is my left? And here I took a gamble. I decided to take one of my horsemen and attack his general. Like, I was debating if I should attack the backs of his infantry or go for his general. In the end, I decided to attack his general because he keeps inspiring his men to fight better than they should be fighting. So I'm going to take these guys out, and then hopefully I can kill them fast so I can recall my horsemen and start charging his dudes from behind. So it's kind of a gamble, but I think it paid off. Alright, so I've lost a lot of men, but on the right flank, I was able to outflank him there.
Our men are running, sir.
Because I used a right echelon attack. Alright, now I brought up my Pavlov's Grenadiers. And yeah, who needs artillery? These guys have their own grenades. So all that black smoke, that came from their grenades. And these guys are kind of pissed that I didn't bring them into battle until the last second. But I did that on purpose though. And so these guys easily break that line of Janissaries in front of them. And finally on the extreme left, my Pavlograd Hussars broke down that unit of Janissaries. Anyway, that was the end of the battle for the most part, and I want to dedicate this battle to Suvorov.